Yeah, there we go. Yay, there we go. You know what they did? They didn't want anybody to leave the country or anybody to come in until the point where it's just like they're like, you know what? I think we need tourism because our economy is in the toilet. So now
Yeah.
tourism is back in business. I've been seeing tourists like every day, and it's fucking annoying. I'm sure you're completely used to it because New York is just chock full of tourists. But at Tokyo, I mean, we went like 4 years where it's just nonstop tourists all over the city to like nothing. Like overnight, there's like no tourists. We're pretty much like, I'll get on the train and I'm like the only like non-Japanese person. I'm like, hey, it was like this when I first came here 20 years ago. Wow, it's crazy.
It's like it's back, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, the tourism is back. I was on a train and there's like this lady with this huge ass camera. It was like the size of my feet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? It's really something the way you get around. Though, I mean, like, most of your tourists now, are they from Japan or are most of them from overseas or someplace else?
Oh, for the longest time, it's been domestic tourism, but as of last month, they opened the doors to international tourists. And yeah, I mean, I can't complain because a lot of my business is like tourist related, so I can't complain. But it's just kind of annoying,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
but yeah, I know. There's always like an ambivalence about it. You don't really want them around or to deal with them. They're annoying, but yeah, you're right. Source of income and all that kind of shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, totally get it.
Yeah, a organized. Oh, please.
Go no, you go ahead because I'm just looking for some things to talk about. To be honest.
Oh, I got more than enough stuff to talk about. You can't shut me up, man. I've been doing this podcast. Wait, how long have you been doing your show?
Well, I'm in 12th season now.
Season
So 11
12.
years. Yeah.
So wait, that's like Lost's finale, right? They lasted 12 years, 12
What?
seasons.
Which one did?
Lost, wasn't it
Oh,
12?
Lost. Was it that long? My God.
Are you getting off the island? Manhattan?
I never watched it ever. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get off it or not. There's people who want me to get off, like my landlord and shit.
Oh
But
fuck.
I'm still staying for now.
Good, good, good. Fuck your landlord.
Yeah, I just raised the rent like another $150.
Is that legal?
Yeah, they sometimes they get to make a big leap like that.
That's
They vote on it and
crazy.
shit. Well, God, I mean, I guess they had to give him something after all that. You know, you can't. We had, the rule for a while was you couldn't get evicted no matter what.
Yeah, it was
No
like San
eviction.
Francisco.
hmm Yeah, San Francisco and New York City are always competing to see who can be the kind of like the most awful.
Yeah, I lived in Frisco.
Yeah. How long were you there?
7 years, man.
Wow. How did you deal with all the Asians there?
I dated one.
That okay?
Dude,
Yeah.
how do you think I wound up in Japan?
That was kind of my joke. I figure you're in Japan, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, I came here and I was like, all right, nothing's changed. No, no, no. I'm totally joking. But yeah, dude. Yeah, Frisco is all right. It's all right. When I was there, it was like the 90s, right? Like I came here in 2002. So it was like the very end of like cool San Francisco. And at the very beginning of like, you know, feces, needles, home. I mean, I went there for my honeymoon in 2012. Everything was expensive and there's homeless people everywhere. And I was just like, whoa, wait a second. Where's like anything cool?
wow.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's always nice in Japan, right? In the city where you live. What city do you live in? You're going to think I'm an idiot. I really don't know.
No, it's all right. I live in Tokyo. I live just south of Shibuya. You know that whenever they show Tokyo, they show that big intersection
hmm
with all those millions of people crossing. I'm like 2 train stops south of that, or maybe like a 20-minute bike ride.
Jesus,
Yeah.
man. Okay, so you are in the most. You're probably the most dense urban area, I guess, that there is, right?
Pretty much. Well, my area is not that. I mean, that's Tokyo. All of Tokyo is dense, but my area
Yeah.
is like a little bit more residential. It's kind of like where like the city kind of like slows down just a little bit, so
Yeah. Okay.
it's not too crazy.
I'm trying to think of what to compare that to in New York. What would you compare it to?
Oh shit.
Probably Chelsea, right? It's a couple of stops outside of Times Square.
Yeah, you know what? It probably would be the Chelsea. You're in Chelsea right now too, right?
Mhm.
God damn, there's a lot of people with diabetes in Chelsea, man. I was walking around and I saw needles everywhere.
I know that diabetes has got to be a real issue here for sure.
God,
Yeah.
you guys got to cut that sugar out of your diet.
New Yorkers used to be pretty good about that, but I guess they're it's the what do you call it? The caramel, that corn syrup. That's what it is. It really
Ugh.
sneaks up on you, and it's ugly. It's really ugly. The needle exchanges have started, I guess, and they're really encouraging people to stay addicted to drugs. Don't do them alone. They're trying to remove the stigma instead of
Mhm.
trying to get people off drugs. They're trying to make them feel better about it.
I don't think junkies care.
Well, yeah, they don't. They don't care at all. But yeah, but I guess in fact, when you think about it, it's not even a commercial like that, an ad like that. They put these ads out that try to remove the stigma. Oh,
Mhm.
but it's not really about the junkies. It's about the people who are on the verge of becoming junkies or, considering using to begin with. That's who you want to get rid of the stigma for,
Why
I
do you
guess,
want to
right?
at this point, who's considering using drugs? I mean, shit, dude. Every drug, everybody that I've seen that's on like hardcore drugs is not cool, dude. That their skin's all puffy, they got scabs all over their faces and shit. Faces of meth. That's it. Perfect example. Just look at that and be like, yeah, I think I'm sticking with booze.
See, yeah, it makes sense. But what you're doing right now increases the stigma. We're trying to decrease the stigma. You see what I mean? Like they think that just all that stuff that you're talking about, which is
Yeah.
very real, they're like, oh no, that's just what people say about it. Oh yeah, drug addicts are all messed up and torn up, and they're ugly, and their teeth fall out, and their face falls in on itself. But that does happen, and it's not a stigma; it's a reality, and that's what they really want you to. I believe that the city's tearing itself down on purpose from the top down.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of got a feeling about that when I was there. I mean, everything was just so goddamn expensive,
Yeah.
and it's just like unrealistic for anybody to live there for any period of time. And I think like a lot of people that were living, especially in what you call it, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, where I was staying, I think everybody's like kind of just like raping their credit card because it just seemed like everybody was going out, everybody looked so fashionable, everybody had like a $5,000 like dog walking them all over the city and shit. And I'm just like, man, this doesn't seem feasible for people in this age bracket, And I'm sure they got rich parents, but how long can they survive off these fucking credit cards,
Yeah.
And I think that's like only a matter of time before like, people start leaving and the rents are so high where it just eats itself. And like these buildings start turning into like, I guess Detroit.
Yeah, because they're all empty, post COVID. Not all of them, but a lot of them are still empty because they realize we don't have to pay these rents and have all these, we don't need a big building here with people in it. Everybody will work from home. And so, yeah, there you go. Uh, the I don't know what's going to become of New York with all these empty skyscrapers. It's really kind of a bummer. I mean,
Raves. That's what happened in Detroit in the 90s.
eh?
Raves.
Oh,
It's coming
raves.
back, man.
Well, good man. I think something good will come from it, I guess.
I didn't say it was good. Do you remember the fashion back then? Pacifiers and pants that were like a parachute. If you fell out of an airplane, hey, you're okay.
Pants that were like a parachute. That's great.
I had a pair.
I never. I had a pair that were what do you call it, nylon, but they were not. I wouldn't quite call them parachute pants, but whatever, man. Yeah, we didn't know how good we had it back then. Is the thing. I mean, fashion wise, okay, it kind of blew. Maybe the music wasn't always the best. Some of it was pretty good, but
Yeah.
man, things now it's splintered apart. You can't even really count on the it's I don't know how you travel internationally. I mean, like it used to be, you could do what there's a possibility you could buy a plane ticket, fly out, go anywhere you want to in the world. You had a lot of self-determination.
Mhm.
It was like I was thinking, what am I going to do next? What's with my life? How do I make it better? Now I'm just kind of going, where do I stay? Can I stand here?
Dude, I was in New York for 2 weeks and I had two. Oh, all right. I had three like uncomfortable incidents. I don't know what to call it, but like one guy threatened to stab me in the face. One guy, I don't even know what he was like yelling at me and my wife, or he was yelling at demons in front of him or something. And then some lady tried to steal our cigarettes and like try to steal our drinks at a bar. I'm just like, huh. And I told my friend about that. I was staying at my friend's house, the best friend in the world. She let us stay at her place rent free for 2 weeks. Oh, she's a doll. But I told my friend about that. And she's like, yeah, that's just part of the crazy of New York. You get used to it. I'm like, I don't want to get used to getting stabbed in the face.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Once is too many times,
Sure. Let's not like kind of make that a habit. And here you are. Jesus, man.
I got enough holes in my face.
Yeah. Well, you do get used to it. That's the smells you get used to. Penn Station. I don't know if you had the pleasure of being there, but I mean,
For a second, yeah, I saw the little art thing that they had in there with I guess the cue balls or whatever.
Oh, you know what? They've rebuilt some of it, and it's really nice. Some days it gets a little warm just on some of the platforms, and it smells like a human shit. It smells like someone's holding a human shit out in front of your face.
Ugh.
And sometimes that is happening. But when it's even when it's not, the whole building can really reek, and I don't want to get used to that. I don't want for that to seem normal for somebody to be taking a shit like right there in front of everybody, blowing. It's the drugs, like you said too, man. Came out of the studio the other day. There's people standing right outside the studio, 35th Street, busy street.
Mm-hmm.
Handfuls of drugs, just like whatever, like kind of organizing little pills and shit like that. I don't know, man. It's once you go down that road, how the fuck do you how do you climb out of that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what your city should or the country should do about that kind of a situation, because I mean, like the guy that threatened me and stuff, my wife and I, here's the situation. My wife and I, we just took our COVID test, right? And we had to take a COVID test 72 hours before we could fly out of New York to go to Japan, right? And so we just took our COVID test. They're both negative. We're like, hell yeah, this is awesome. We're right off of Times Square. That's where the little hospital was. And so we sat down at a Starbucks and we got a cup of coffee and like some snacks. We're just celebrating. We're like, this is great. We're going to leave. We're going to go back home. We can go back to our lives. Now I kind of regret it, but still, So anyway, we're there, we're celebrating, and my wife pulls on a cigarette to celebrate, right? And cigarettes, as you probably know, attract loonies, because fucking cigarettes are so goddamn expensive there that people just go berserker whenever they see one, dude. Smoking there is like it's a loony attractor, a loony magnet, right? So anyway, she's smoking a cigarette. Not 2 minutes go by, and this dude shows up, and he's like, "Bitch, give me your cigarette." Now, my wife doesn't speak English very well, right? She speaks English, but her listening isn't all that great or whatever. So anyway, she doesn't know what the guy's saying, right? It's a homeless dude, and he's a weird homeless dude because it's warm. He's wearing an army jacket. I don't think he's from the army, and he's got a half face full of like cornbread, right? Like a cornbread sandwich. Like it's like his cheek is like a chipmunk. It's just stuffed in there, right? Where he can't swallow it. It's almost like, like one of those like 1940s cartoons where like the guy has chewing tobacco stuck in his mouth or something, right? He's just there with all this shit in his fucking mouth, right? And he's like talking, "Bitch, give me a cigarette," right? And he didn't want a new cigarette. He wanted the cigarette that she was smoking, right? And this guy he's dressed kind of shabby, and he's barely got shoes on. It's not even shoes. It's like they were shoes, but now they're like sandals because he wore them down to hell, right? And so I'm like, I intervene. I'm like, "Hey, she's not going to give you a cigarette." He's like, "I wasn't talking to you, motherfucker. I'm going to stab you in the face. Permanent." And then he's like, "Do you know who I am? I'm from the streets and blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is fucking ridiculous." And I was like, "Rieko, let's just go. Let's just go." And she's like, "Why?" She thought we're just talking about something. She didn't understand what the situation was. And I didn't want to break into Japanese because this guy already threatened to stab me in the face. I mean, his priorities were all fucked up. He had half a sandwich and half his face. He's not wearing shoes. And apparently he's got a knife. He should sell the sandwich that's in his mouth that he's not eating, sell the knife, and buy shoes. But I don't know.
Who knows how he's going to react to hearing that you speak Japanese? You don't want to take that chance.
He's like going to think I'm going blah, 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 or something like that. Then he's definitely going to stab me. So anyway, he walks away, and I'm like, "Oh, thank God." I'm like, "All right, listen, get your cigarettes. Let's get the fuck out of here." Also, he runs up to us, and with the sandwich still in his mouth, and he's talking with half his mouth with the other half full. And he's like, "You think this is funny, motherfucker?" Da, da, da. And I'm like, I didn't think it was funny at all. Except for you're not wearing shoes and you apparently have a knife. but it's like, there's like a million people there, like all around. And so I don't know, maybe I could have gotten stabbed in the face. I don't want
I
to get
thought it.
stabbed in the face.
I thought it was pretty funny, Johnny. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought you did a fine job with that story. I thought it was pretty amusing.
Really?
It's too bad he couldn't hear it in its final form, man. You were still workshopping it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go on stage. Yeah, you got to come on here. By the way, stand-up comedy is big in a big way, and it's getting even bigger. They just opened up this. As I told you before, they opened this new club. New club's like an English and Japanese like stand-up comedy club. It's like a bar slash club, whatever. They got a stage, and apparently, like people from all over the country are coming just to do stand-up there because COVID now is kind of over-esque, even though everybody wears masks and everybody's still frightened of foreigners and COVID and shit. But still, I think COVID is gone and comedy is back. So
That's great. Yeah, it would. People had to be vaccinated for here so long that I got used to not going to the clubs anymore. And some of the best clubs here closed, or at least one of them. One of my favorites, Dangerfield's, no longer.
No
And
way, Dangerfields?
closed. Yeah,
That's
closed
it's a
2 weeks
global
into COVID.
establishment.
Yeah, I don't know when exactly it closed for perm. There was a guy there who's been working there since Dangerfield owned it, right? He was, and
Since the
that was like in
80s.
69, 70. Yeah, I think it was Chario. And this guy, as soon as lockdown hit, 2 weeks into it, he just died. He just
Wow.
died. Yeah, because he's been there. That's his meaning of life. Everything that he ever did. So many sad stories, of course, from COVID.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's just another one. But damn, I hate to see the clubs go. I almost feel as if like I don't write jokes anymore. I don't make up jokes anymore. I don't do bits anymore. It's almost, which makes you feel like I'm not in show business anymore. Now I go on stage and I just say everything I want to say, and it works out fine. It's kind
Fuck
of neat.
you, fuck you, fuck you. Mic drop pace.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I tell you what, man, why don't you pull a Joe Rogan? Like,
and just get super famous.
oh yeah, that. No, man, but the thing is, he's there and he's fucking interviewing all these insane people. And when I say insane, like insanely intelligent or insanely unique, right? He
Right,
interviews
right, right.
all these people and then he just takes bits of the conversations and then puts that into like an hour-long special that he tours around the country and makes a Netflix like special or whatever. Maybe that's the way to do it. I mean, I was thinking about that for a second. I've interviewed tons of crazy people. I've been doing this show since 2009. I've got so much material. I mean, I could just go on stage. Actually, you could just go on stage and just read the news and just make jokes in between, like, the articles,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I do, except I read the news just before I go on stage, and I make a couple of notes.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's essentially the same thing. And of course, there's going to be some stuff. You got some core material that you
Mhm.
just keep. You always keep evolving it, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I got canceled this week
You
out
got
of a club.
canceled?
Out of a club. Yeah, somebody called the club and said it wouldn't be a good idea to have me there,
You
and
can
it had
still
something.
get canceled. I thought cancel was like 2016 or something.
No, you still get canceled. I mean, canceled is
Oh,
no. I mean, I literally got canceled. I mean, the club canceled my fucking 2-day engagement.
they're like, he wears a tie just like my dad, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't really, I don't get
I
it,
don't
man.
like authority. I'm a millennial, and if you make me mad, I'm gonna call my dad, and he's gonna be even angrier. Mm. Oh man, that's bogus, dude. You got canceled. That's bullshit. You still there? All
Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold on one sec.
right. God, I thought comedy was a job that you couldn't get canceled from.
Yeah, I didn't get canceled because of my comedy though. I didn't get canceled because of my comedy though. You see?
From the podcast. Somebody listen to the
No,
podcast.
no, it wasn't that. It was I punched a guy.
Oh, you punched a guy.
Yeah, and they seemed to think that it was going to be a problem.
Wait, did you punch a bouncer?
No, I punched a comic.
Oh,
I punched another guy on my network, because it's I don't want to go really kind of tired of talking about it. It happened on Monday. Then
sure.
by Tuesday, he's like, they want to get rid of this. It's not a good idea to have this guy, whatever, blah blah. So and I'm also suspended from the network for 2 weeks. until
Wow.
after the 4th. Yeah, really blows.
That's crazy. I
Really
thought you're
blows.
like living in New York where people like did that all the time. I got threatened
Yeah,
twice.
right. I mean, I didn't cut out a new hole in the guy's face or anything. I mean, it just fucking punched him in the face. Yeah, whatever. So,
Hmm.
the first stand-up comic got canceled. The very first one, the guy who started stand-up comedy was canceled basically by communists in his union.
Wait. Wasn't the first stand-up comic? What was his name? Benjamin Franklin or something? How far are we going back, man?
Close, man. It's Frank Fay. He was the first guy to do it. He was in like vaudeville, whatever. He headlined at the Palace. This guy made $17,500 a week.
Holy
He
shit.
was huge. He was huge. He was the highest paid guy in vaudeville, and he was the first guy to go on stage alone and tell jokes. The rest of the comedy was like, baggy pants and like, that kind of shit, like
Gestures or
flowers,
something, puppets.
flowers that squirt, and stuff. Yeah.
Steve Martin with like an arrow in his head.
Uh, Steve Martin, not really a comic. Yeah, it's funny, but no, yeah, and so this guy, man, he tried to get some people censured and investigated after they went in support of some. I don't know. You see, what was it? It was a rally for the communists who were trying to overthrow Franco in Spain. I guess some shit like that, Spanish Civil War stuff. And
Whoa.
yeah, so he tried to get them censured, and then they turned around and censured him, and after that, he couldn't get representation, couldn't get work, died in obscurity, and he's the guy
Shut
who
down his
started.
Twitter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Worse than that. Worse than that. Those back in the day, there were. You know what? You've heard of the Red Scare, of course. Here in the United States. I mean, you were here before. You grew up here, so you
You mean the
studied that.
old Red Scare or like
The
the
old
new
Red
Red
Scare.
Scare? Is there a new one?
There's a new one. Yeah, but the old Red Scare. Everybody thinks of it as like this time when, oh man, the writers couldn't get work and the
Yeah,
actors
everybody's
couldn't get work.
blacklisted, McCarthy
Everybody,
era. Yeah.
yeah, but it wasn't. But yeah, and that's true. But you know what? There were some communists. There were a big number of communists, and that it wasn't all fake. And the communists did their share of damage too. They were, I mean, as we've seen as years have gone on, they weren't wrong. I don't think Joe McCarthy was wrong. I'm pro McCarthyism, I guess. Not the hysteria, and all that. But
I'm with Joe.
I am with Joe McCarthy. I think he was right. I think he was right. There's no question there were a bunch of communists in the State Department.
Oh man.
I know that you don't want to discuss that, but I find it to be.
Yeah, I'm in Asia, right?
Yeah. What kind of country is that? You guys, it's a kingdom, right?
Oh, Japan. We do have an emperor, and but we also have a prime minister. So, and I think the prime minister takes care of business, and the emperor does everything else. I guess. I don't know. I'm not very political. I don't talk about politics on this show whatsoever.
Gotcha. Well, then let's stop.
No. I mean, I could talk about American politics, but Japanese politics, like the thing is, I pay taxes, but I can't vote. So it's just like, why get involved in politics here when I have no power or authority? I can't really complain about it. So because I mean, no matter how long I'm here, I'm always going to be kind of like a guest. So I'm just like, I just go with the flow.
Oh, your vote's not necessarily counted here either, so it's
Yeah, I heard about that.
yeah. Or dead people can vote here. It's funny, you can't vote there just because you're from another country, but hell, they let dead people vote multiple times here. Sometimes it's crazy.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, they let illegal immigrants vote, illegal aliens. They allow everybody to vote,
Wow.
so long as they mail it in, or even if they don't.
I wonder if my grandpa's still voting. I wonder if he's a Republican or a Democrat. How do I find out?
It depends on what the property taxes are in heaven, I guess, right?
I'm sure they're high.
Yeah, you gotta have good.
That's
school.
why everybody's in limbo.
Yeah, they've gotten rid of the middle class, of course.
I'm gonna buy a ticket to the highway to hell.
Man, these days I look forward to dying, Johnny. I really do.
Well, you're smoking.
I'm trying to hasten the whole thing. I started smoking again when I realized how much my third marriage sucked. And
third marriage? I heard about the first and the second one. The third one.
Third one, yeah. There's been a third one. It's over now. So 3 divorces. I'm still undefeated.
Oh my God, 3 divorces. Jeez. Oh
Yeah,
God, I got a friend that's been divorced. Not really a friend, but like 4 times. Yeah, yeah, that gets to be kind of expensive. And well, I mean, in America, it's gonna be. I don't even know how you can afford it.
no, man, it's like it's cheaper to get divorced than it is to be married to, somebody you can't stand.
Oh, that
It,
makes
it
sense.
is. I think so. Yeah, it's quite an expense. Anyway, it's if you don't really have a whole bunch of shit to talk about or get rid of, then divorce is not that expensive, and it's hope. Divorce is hope. Divorce equals hope. That's what it
Mm.
is. You think nothing's ever going to change, and then here I am. I'm stuck, and then one day, everything changes, and you're not stuck. You're back to normal, and your wife is somewhere drifting around New Orleans or something, and that's the way.
You married a drifter?
I married a woman and turned her into a drifter.
Oh God. Oh geez. No. I've dated my share of crazy here. Have you ever had oh wait, no. I remember your story where your ex-girlfriend tried to kill you or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. My story doesn't compare to yours. Never mind.
Oh, go ahead. No. It doesn't matter. Yeah, hey, everybody goes through their own brand of hell.
Oh God. No, I was dating this girl for about a year and a half or something. And I got an apartment and she helped me get an apartment. And so anyway, after I got my apartment, she slowly started bringing all her stuff into my place. And when she started spending a lot of time with me, we started having like issues because I guess, if I saw her every so often, things were great, but seeing her every single day, we just didn't gel, right? So we're arguing all the time, whatever. And so I kind of wanted her to stop coming over to my place. And she's like, "What do you mean? Come over to your place? This is my place. You should leave." And I'm like, "What the fuck? No, this is my place. My name's on the lease. I'm paying the rent. You
Ooh.
actually don't even have a job or whatever." We had this huge fucking argument, right?
About whose place it was.
No, about me kicking her out.
Oh.
And it came to terms that it was definitely my place. But anyway, so it was like in Tokyo, pretty much after midnight, all the trains stop. That's the difference between Tokyo and New York. All the trains stop around midnight, right? So wherever you are after midnight, you're staying there unless you take a taxi or you walk, right?
Hmm.
So anyway, we kind of like broke up, right? And it was like right before last train, and it was at my house or my apartment. So I was like, you know what? You can stay at my place, and in the morning you can leave and take all your shit, and we'll let bygones be bygones, right? And I had to work the next morning at like fucking 8:30 in the morning, right? And it was on a Sunday. So I had to get some sleep on Saturday. So I went to bed and it was like probably like midnight after a huge argument or whatever. And she's watching TV, chain smoking cigarettes, and I
Yeah.
and I fall asleep on my bed, right? And then I don't know how long it was, maybe an hour or so, maybe 10 minutes. I have no idea. But I woke up because I felt ice on my back, right? Like right in the middle of my back, I felt ice, right? And I woke up and I was like, ice. And then I got this like kind of like electric jolt all throughout my body. And then I jumped off my bed, like instinctively jumped off my bed and landed on my feet. And I was like, what the fuck? And I found out that she put her cigarette out in the middle of my back. She's like, fuck this guy. And she put a cigarette on my back, right? And
Wow.
and then I kicked her out of my apartment. I was like, you got to get out of here right now. Take a taxi, take this money, take your shit, get the fuck out. Which she did. And I looked over at the ashtray later on, and it was like full of cigarettes. She was just there smoking and just chain smoking and smoking, just getting more and more angry. Like, I fucking hate this guy. And after your story, with like your ex-girlfriend with like the red hair, or whatever, I
Yeah.
think that, I'm actually kind of lucky.
Yeah. You're right. You know what? If we all got together in a big group, every guy who's had a woman like this in their life, we put all our problems in the middle of the room.
Hmm.
By the end of the hour together, we would all be struggling and trying to get our problems back. The same ones we came in with, compared to all this other shit. And man, but I'm kind of caught. You say she's smoking cigarette after cigarette. She put a cigarette out on you.
Yeah, on my back.
That's like you
In
must
the
have had
middle of
you
my
probably
back. Huh?
you got a scar, right? You must have a scar from that. I'm not going to ask you to show it, but I mean, like, it must have been pretty bad.
It's right here. No, no, actually, the funny thing is, I did have a scar. I did have a mark for like the longest time. Then I was in Germany. I used to go to Germany all the time. I was in Germany and I was talking to my friend there, and I told him the story. He's like, Johnny, let me see the scar. I'm like, yeah, dude, here's the scar. And I pulled up my shirt and the scar disappeared. It did. The scar disappeared, but the story stuck along, which is
Ah,
weird because you would think that like a burn scar on your back, burn mark on your back would just like be there forever, right?
I've
Because
had one. I've had one since birth. Yeah,
yeah, but no, it went away. Maybe it
that's
wasn't that
great.
deep, but anyway, so
It's
that's
it
my
sounds
story. Hmm?
pretty bad. Anybody who'll put a cigarette out on your back will do, pretty much anything. You can't rule anything out with some crazy whore like that. And you
Mm-hmm.
gave her money on the way out the door. That's funny too. It's like that's what you have to do. Like go, and she's, I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any money. Here, take the money. Go.
Yeah.
You still end up having to like pay the bill and that. It's the when I was for breaking up with the one who ended up trying to kill me, she's
Yeah.
crying and everything, and she's got tears. You know, maybe there weren't even any tears now that I think about it, but she's like, she's like acting all sad, and then she just gets really straight in her face like this and goes, "Will you give me money?"
Oh, really? It's all fake. God, they're great
And I
actresses.
gave her fucking money, Johnny. I said I gave her $200. It's the
Whoa!
weirdest shit. Yeah, it's the
I gave her
weirdest.
50 bucks and like 5,000 yen just to take a taxi back.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
something like that. I can't remember. This is
that's
years ago. I've been married for like
reasonable.
over 10 years. So this is like a long time ago. So
That's really the way to go, man. It's just yeah, be married, stay married, enjoy and forget all these fucking succubuses.
yeah. Yeah. Oh no, 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 no. But I've had my share of crazy. My share of you've had your share of crazy. I've had my share of crazy. Right now, I'm with my wife, totally happy. My wife, dude, my wife deals with all my insanity. I've got a lot of insanity, dude. I'm a painter, man. I'm an artist. I mean, look around. I've got all sorts of crazy shit all over the place and stuff.
It's
She
really
deals
nice.
with all of that, man.
That's a
I don't
very
know.
nice room. That's nothing to deal with. Look at it. It's like it looks. I mean,
You haven't
it's
seen the
very
floor,
cool.
man.
Yeah. Well, when
I
you're an
show you the
artist
floor.
too,
The
that extends.
cockroaches all scatter away.
It extends to your decorating, doesn't it? It make me like you make a nice a sort of nice environment for yourself, so you feel like creating. Probably.
Mm-hmm. No, it's just shit piles up, man. The more stuff you have, the longer you live in a place, the more stuff you accumulate, and then it just goes from there. Yeah, I got paintings galore. Oh, speaking of paintings, I got your painting here, man. So eventually, not eventually, maybe this week and stuff, I can send that to you.
That would be great. That'd be great. I'll give you my address. I'll text it to you. You'll have it, and
Yeah, we're
I would
recording right
love to
now,
own it.
so don't say it. I live at 8675309 Jenny Street. Okay.
Something like that. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I'll let you know. I can't wait, man. That's awesome. I'm honored that you even did that. And now it's been years, so it's appreciated.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I did a whole set called the Wise Guys. I painted, dude. This is how old it is. I got these right here. I dug them up because of the show. I got this guy right here. Who is this guy?
Louis C.K., right?
Yeah, Louis C.K. Man, this guy's canceled, which is weird because I painted him blue. It's actually a really great painting. I mean, this painting
As,
of this guy is fantastic.
dude, I really, I got to agree with you. The features, I like the nice, strong lines there, and
Mhm.
and the colors are real vibrant. It reminds me of, I don't know, like a Gauguin or something like that. Those, bright Tahitian colors.
Maybe. Okay, well, let's play a game. Let's play a game. Okay, so you called that guy. All right, so let's
I'm
see.
pretty good at this. I've seen a lot of really bad comedian murals at comedy clubs.
All right. So, all right. How about this guy?
Taylor Negron.
No, come on.
Let me see. Let me see.
He's got a
Okay.
podcast. He's got
Oh,
a
it's Joe
third eye.
Rogan then.
Yeah, there we go. Joe Rogan. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. This guy has the nickname, aka the Machine.
It's probably a guy that I'm not real familiar with.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, I figured like that. Yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan, and I never could get into him.
He's got a great story. He's
You
been on
I
my
bet he-
podcast. He was on my podcast once, like right before he became super famous. He came out to Japan on what you call it, his some kind of a like travel channel tour or something. Anyway, he came on, he was on the show for a minute. All right.
when you
This
want to get
guy.
him.
Yep. Forget
Tommy
about
Chan.
it. Huh?
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Oh, it's Dice Clay, right?
No, God, no. Kind of
Louis
close. It's Dom Herrera.
Oh, Damarera.
Dom
You know, you're
Herrera.
right. Once these people are out of your fucking immediate thoughts, I mean, these are classic guys that you're showing.
Oh
You,
no,
you,
no, no, no.
you sort
Yeah,
of like
this.
become, it's weird.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And then of course this guy right here.
Yeah,
Hey.
everybody knows that guy.
Yeah, there we go. Oh
Yeah,
God.
that's Harlan Williams, of course.
Oh God, no. I thought it was the guy from the Twilight Zone, Rob Sterling.
Rob Sterling. I think
What?
that's a porn actor.
Wait, that's his name, right? Is it Rob
It's
Sterling? Sterling?
Rod Serling.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, which
Hey man,
also sounds like a porn name.
could be important. Hey, dude, you got to give me a little bit of slack, man. I haven't lived in America in 20 years, right? And I went back and I was there for like 1 month. And dude, talk about culture shock. I'm walking down the street. I'm like, God damn, we are fat in Detroit.
So, what do you think? Everybody's. So that's where you were. You were in Detroit.
No, I
A
wasn't
lot
in
of.
Detroit proper. I was in actually, I spent most of my time in Ypsilanti, Michigan, Ann Arbor,
Okay.
Michigan, around that whole area and stuff. Like I caught COVID when I was there. So I spent actually most of my time in my mom's basement.
Wow. That's nice down there.
Mm,
Yeah, Ann
at a
Arbor is
bar.
Ann Arbor. They had a comedy club. I think they still do, and they
Uh-huh.
were one of the first cities to just go full blown legal marijuana, which I thought was odd.
They legalized mushrooms there.
Mm. They're
Yeah,
drug
that was
people.
crazy. Yeah. I was at a mall with like my mom and my wife, and this guy, I was talking to this guy about shoes. He's like, "Oh, you're from Japan, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Well, not really, but yeah." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah. So make sure you get some shrooms while you're out here." And I'm like, "Shrooms? Like on my pizza?" He's like, "No, man, shrooms, man." I'm like, "Nah, dude, I'm gonna pass on that shit, dude. I'm fucking 45 years old, dude. I'm gonna stick with like the Bell's beer, the fucking beer bottom whiskey, dude. I'm fucking like an alcoholic, dude. That's how I roll.
Yeah,
I
you
don't want
find
to. Hmm?
you find what works, you stick with it, man. Yeah, why be experimenting at this age?
No, fuck that shit, dude. Oh God. No, I don't want to be like one of those guys that's like fucking 50 years old. And all of a sudden they fucking like start like changing their life and hanging out with kids or something. I don't know, man. You could go sideways on that shit. I don't want to fuck around with it.
No, yeah, I did. Really, it's what are the chances it's going to enhance your life at this point? Very, very remote.
I don't know. I've already been all over the world. I mean, what else is there to see?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What are you going to do? Have a mushroom trip. I took mushrooms a few years ago when I was a little younger. Obviously, I was younger in the past.
What, yesterday?
No, a little longer ago than
When I
that, but
was
it was
younger this morning.
10 years ago, I guess. 10? Yeah, about 10 years ago. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed taking mushrooms 10 years ago a few times, but I didn't do it a lot. And you know what? I'd be just as well without the experience. You giggle. That's it. You get a good mood for a little while. That's kind of a nice little vacation from,
Yeah.
my being me.
Uh,
But
hmm.
you named a couple of different alcohols there. What were those beers you were talking about?
Oh yeah, no. In Michigan, it's all about beer. In Japan right now, I'm just drinking highballs, so it's like a whiskey soda. I mean, it
Oh,
comes in a can that's like bigger. Like in Japan, this is like the land of alcohol, dude. This right here is a highball. It's a whiskey soda. It costs like I think about $1.50.
give me a break.
No,
For a
no, no,
whiskey
seriously.
soda, $1.50, and
For a can
what's the
about the size of
alcohol?
my face. 7%.
7%.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so 14 proof, and you're just swigging it away.
Yeah,
Wow.
totally. No, they got shit that's like way stronger than this. They got it's called Strong Zero, which is like 0 calorie, but it's like 9%. It's like these big cans about the same size as this. And yeah, some of them are like cherry flavor, strawberry flavor. It's kind of a girl's drink. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of like a Mickey Finn in a can, to be honest. It's kind
Yeah,
of
sounds like
bad,
it.
but yeah, so they got tons of those. No, Japan's definitely an alcoholic's paradise. Like, I mean, you could drink on the street. You can go into a police station with a bottle of Jack Daniels and swig it and ask a cop for directions. You can drink in taxi cabs. You can drink. You can't drink and drive. Very strict on that. But if you're not the driver, you can like have like a whole case of beers open and drink them one by one in the car. Like the rules here are a little bit loose.
It makes sense. You're not driving. What's the difference?
True. But yeah, dude, when I was in the States, oh God, I was driving from my cousin's house to my mom's house, and I was sober. And my wife was drinking at my cousin's house. She had a White Claw. That's what it's called, like a White Claw,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
heard
she
of
had a
it.
White Claw. And anyway, so we drove all the way from my cousin's house to my mom's house. And she got out of the car and she's like drinking this can. I look over, I'm like, have you been drinking a White Claw the whole time? She's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, that is like so fucking illegal here. Like, I could go to jail, right?
Mm. Maybe, yeah, maybe open container law. Yeah, it's doubtful they would do that. You say, "Look, my wife's Japanese. She didn't know." I'm sure they'd let you go. She
Really?
must think
Okay.
she must think it's a weird country, like some kind of Muslim country or something where weird shit like that's illegal. You could be executed for that.
So you're gonna lose your hands? Yes, and part of my penis.
Start trying
She's
to
like,
decide whether or not you're going to turn her in, right?
she's like, you're already circumcised. I'm like, yeah, but they're gonna cut off more now.
Yeah, double circumcised.
Oh, that's the
Have you
worst.
ever had sex with an uncircumcised woman? It's such a pain. Such a pain. I won't do it. I won't touch it. They have such high expectations.
Oh God, yeah. You gotta go more than 15 seconds. Fuck that.
15 seconds. Man, the problem reverses itself later on in life. I'll tell you. How old are you, Johnny? Anyway.
45 this year. Technically, I'm 44.
Okay.
So
Good.
I round up because 45 sounds better than 44. Although they do make a gun that's 44. It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that's true. That's true. They're both good. Those are both good numbers for that.
Wait,
46 is nothing.
Pat, you're 46?
No, I'm not 46.
How old are you?
52.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? You're 52 years old?
Here we are.
God, I gotta start smoking. You look great.
Ah, thanks, man.
Holy shit. I'm gonna call an Uber Eats. You know, Uber Eats
you,
delivers cigarettes here, I think. So I'm gonna be
you
like,
don't you don't look your age either. I mean, like I think it's something about our generation. Of people like who came after anybody born after like 1950 or 60. People you see like Robert Mitchum and shit like that. They looked like they were 60 when they were 40. And I
yeah.
think we just don't age that way anymore.
Well, I don't know, man. You and I both have like weird lifestyles. I mean, if you're doing comedy and you're doing like podcasts and stuff, you're pretty much inside out of the sun and you're outside like only like at nighttime, right? That's kind of like how I roll, right? I
Right.
pretty much been working inside. I was a DJ for years. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I think it's the sunlight that really fucks you up.
Yeah, it does do that. Yeah, and exercise, I guess, is a bad thing, right? Sunlight, vitamin D, basically lockdown. I don't know what it did to you, but man, and this is all just to be serious. It made me look. I probably aged between 5 and 10 years in my appearance just through lockdown.
Oh, really? I got fat.
Yeah, and my hair got long. It was like super gray and mousy. I looked like my mom.
Holy shit. Now
I was
my wife cuts my hair, so I stayed in check, but it's just like the weight, I couldn't control that shit, dude, because I like booze and I like bad food. So pretty much like, yeah, I kind of like lost control a little bit. And with lockdown, I lost like once it first happened in Japan, I lost like all my clients, all my business, or whatever. So I had nothing else to do except for like drink with my friends. So basically I go to the park with like I don't know, like a bottle of gin, some booze, like tons of booze and shit, and just like get completely wasted in the park almost every night.
wow.
Mm.
So hey, so it was actually a big party for you, and it was fun.
That was great, actually,
Yeah.
minus the money thing, but yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's weird how divergent people's experiences were through that time. How there's a lot of people who just wish the fucking virus would never end. They wish that the pandemic would go on forever. Just keep giving us money. I'll stay home and work on my art project or whatever the fuck they're
Mm.
working on. Writing the great American novel and not ever cracking it. And people now act like these jobs are all beneath them. Like, oh yeah, there's jobs. I don't want to fucking do that. Nobody wants to go back to work, and it really kind of teaches a lesson about you know welfare, right? I mean, like once you start paying people to stay home, and that goes for everybody. It's really hard to crank everything back up again and motivate again. I mean, like it's the momentum of just living day by day is apparently the only thing that keeps everything moving forward.
Now, I got a question about the money that all the Americans got. Like when you guys got money at the end of the year, did you guys get taxed on that money? Or was it like taxless? There's just like free money and nobody got taxed.
I'm the wrong guy to ask, probably, because I haven't paid taxes in a few years. I haven't filed in a few years, so I'm kind of like,
Okay, I'm stopping recording now. delete.
And like I didn't get the big COVID money. I got a little bit of unemployment, but
Yeah.
and they definitely want to know how much unemployment I got now. So it's weird. It's like they give you money and then they're like, "Hey, what about all that money we gave you? How much was it?" Well, you should fucking know. Even you
Mhm.
gave it to me, right? How do you not know?
I don't know. That's weird, man. That's crazy.
I don't like
Yeah.
all this stuff. Yeah, they gave way too much money.
Yeah. Is that probably why the economy is kind of going in the shitter? They're like,
People
when they
think
give away
America.
all this money, they're like, oh fuck. Raise taxes.
Well, it's like they do all this, like, yeah, right. We're gonna give away trillions of dollars, and then we're gonna reduce the amount of goods and services there are for that to buy and shit. And yeah, there's inflation. There you go. It's a recipe for it. They did it on purpose. They're ruining it on purpose. You know this, right? They're
Not
ruining it
really.
on purpose. They're ruining it on purpose, definitely, without a doubt. There's no other way to explain it. I mean, why shut down the? Well, you don't like talking politics here, but American politics. They will first thing Biden did was like shut down all the places where they're getting oil and stuff like that, the oil fields, the oil refineries, and so now we became dependent on foreign oil, and then we had complete energy. What do you call it? Independence under Trump, and now we're fucked. So it's a combination of things like that. The war was encouraged by us, not discouraged, and they don't ever want it to end. The one in Ukraine. And then they want to go on talking about Putin's price hike forever. Anyway, you don't want to hear my conservative ranting. I see you becoming less and less comfortable with this conversation, but it is a fact.
Oh no. I'm asking my wife to bring beer.
Like
Okay.
telepathically.
She's on her way back from wherever she is, so I'm just like, buy some more beer. Come on, we're talking politics. I need more booze.
For real.
If I gotta deal with this shit, so do you.
I'm drinking whiskey cola.
Oh god, yeah, these are pretty hardcore too. No, I don't know anything really about that. I can't really comment. I mean, I haven't really been following. It's just like,
Right.
dude, the thing is just like, okay, once you leave your country for a significant amount of time, like you start to lose not interest, but you kind of start to lose like touch with
Yeah.
with politics and sports and pretty much anything. Yeah, even like what sports season it is, like all of a sudden somebody will start talking about basketball. I'm like, it's basketball season already? Holy smokes, And
Well,
then when it comes to
it's it's basketball season basically 10 months out of the year. So I mean,
is it
it's
really?
yeah, it's long.
Well, there you go. Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just like you lose touch with that pretty much everything. I mean, I have no idea what's going on in the States. I can't really comment or even like, I mean, I file and I pay American taxes, so I should be able to bitch. But it's just like I'm not really in there, so I can't really bitch because I don't really know what's going on. I mean, I hear this and that from like a YouTube, but how reliable is YouTube or like the mass media news these days? So it's just like when I hear something, I'm like, okay, cool, but is that true? It's just like I don't even know what's true.
All you got to do is follow Reasonably Well Informed. It's a great show, and it comes on at nyccrimерeport.locals.com. I have a bunch of shows on there, and I really think between that and maybe Compound Media, if those two things, you will get a more full and complete and real, honest, true picture of what's going on in the news than you're going to get anywhere else. Certainly better than CBS News.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because I've been following Fox for years and I feel gypped.
Fox is there's a few things that they're not talking about.
No, I have no idea. I'm joking. I'm joking at that. I don't even know if Fox is good or bad anymore. I don't even know. I just hear Fox thrown around every so often. Like, dude, like, all right, to be honest, I wake up in the morning And when I wake up, I turn on Japanese. Well, my wife has Japanese news on a little bit and stuff. So I watch that just to know what's kind of going on in the country here and there. It's mostly like weather and celebrity shit. And
Yeah.
sometimes if something significant is going on, like there's like a new war or
Mhm.
something, then I'm just like, oh shit, okay, wow, North Korea is firing missiles or something. Like, but other than that, I don't really know the news. The only news I really focus on, and I really am like really in depth in, is the Japanese crime news. And that's what I focus
Yes.
on.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's what this whole podcast is about. So,
And
I mean,
and if you do you feel like if you look at the crimes that are going on in a country, you can sort of tell a lot about what's going on in that country?
yeah, well, we've been having a lot of murder for the last 5 years.
Has it been increasing over the years, over the last 5, like, getting a little ratcheting up a little more and more? And how
Since
many murders do
COVID,
you have in Tokyo?
I've been in Tokyo for 20, almost 21 years.
Yeah. And so and murder has gone up in the last 5.
Well, actually, since COVID, it's been skyrocketing. But the
Huh.
thing is just like it's not like New York. I don't know if this is for sure, but it's not random murders. The murders in Japan are more family oriented or money oriented,
That's
right?
nice.
So it's just like, like husband kills wife, wife kills husband, kids kill dad, dad kills kids, something like that, or like
Yeah.
brother kills brother for financial gain or something, or maybe neighbor kills neighbor, but it's just like, it's not really random here so much. Or the thing is like also in Japan, like we don't have like a narcotic issue here. Like drugs right here are so taboo, and like the penalty for having anything related to that is so hardcore, where it's just like it's such a minor issue here in Japan. So we
Mm,
don't have any of that like drug crime that like other countries do have. That's kind of like the
yeah.
bonus of living in Japan. It's just like, if somebody's going to rob you, it's because they actually do need food to eat. It's not like they're going to rob you for anything else.
No kidding. That's
Yeah,
nice. Well, you that
it's like
so
old school. It's old school crime, dude.
well, what I'm hearing is that your crime makes sense there. It's like, there's logical reasons for it. You don't have a
For
lot
the
of the
murder, for the
depravity.
murder, for the murder.
Yeah, right, for the
There's a
murder,
lot
right.
of illogical crime here too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, as far as that's a pretty important measure there. And if it's mostly stuff that is at least linear, people get something out of it. There's a motive. It's not just like some of the shit here. A guy punches a guy, he falls down, he hits his head, he dies. Or it was on the subway here. I'm going to say about a month ago. A guy is pacing around in a subway car. There's this guy here. He's like one of these like financial executive or something like that. And the guy just pops him, shoots him, no reason at all.
Yeah, I read about
Doesn't
that
know
when I
him.
was there. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that see now? What the fuck? How is that's the random shit you were talking about?
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Now that we just discussed that, I take back everything I said.
Okay,
Okay.
on second thought.
All right. Recently, not recently, but last October and about 5 months before that, we had a lot of like random stabbings on the train. And actually, we had this guy that on Halloween evening, this guy went to Shibuya, like one of the busiest like areas of like Tokyo, went to like a store, bought a he bought a Joker outfit, got on a train, like started a fire on a train, and then started stabbing people. So we do have some loony bin stuff here, but the guy did it because he was bored at his job.
Did
So
what did he do? You got to tell me what was his job that was so boring.
I don't know. I don't know, but that's like the excuse that they have. You can like look it up, like stabbing on Japanese train. And basically, you see this guy, he's wearing a purple suit. He's got his hair all slicked back and stuff. And he started a fire and he stabbed a bunch of people. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but here in Japan, like a lot of people, I mean, they work like 80 hours a week. So they get stressed out and then, they just snap and they do something crazy. Usually
Oh,
it's sexual, but every so often you get a guy that dresses like Batman and does some crazy shit.
I thought you were going to say they work 80 hours a week. They don't have time to kill and rape. It's everybody's just too busy. They're always on the clock. It's this rush around, but nobody takes time to stop and smell the sexual assault anymore. Hey, would it be okay if I record on this end as well?
I thought you were doing that already.
No, I tried to record and it says that I have to get permission from you. Ask the host to give me permission.
Oh, okay, cool. How do I do that?
So
Okay, stop video chat. make host, rename, allow to record on local files, allow multi-pin. I think allow to record local files. Okay, is that it? Can you do that now?
Yep.
Can you record?
Yep. I mean, yeah, it looks like I just started recording.
Cool.
So,
Okay, so
so we're good. Yeah, thanks. That's it's all very interesting. The differences in the crime. We're on pace to hit nearly 500 murders before the close of. Well, let's see, that was in 2021, and suppose we did. That's the first time in a number of years. I mean, it's been. See, there were 419 in 2012, and then it went into the 300s, and that's pretty good because it was over 2,000 murders, like in like 90. So I mean that's a pretty significant drop, but it's climbing back up, and it's every murder matters. When they add up over a few months. Why do you suppose COVID brought out the people murdering?
that's a good question. Why did COVID make people murder? I guess desperation.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned boredom as a motive before, and I suppose it could be that too.
I'm bored. I'm bored. Let's murder.
Well, the one guy worked for the one guy. I mean, we had a guy who set off some smoke bombs, firecrackers, and he had some guns. And he fired 30. He fired 33 shots into the in a subway car.
Yeah, I saw that in the news in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a big story, right?
We're planning a trip to go to New York, and my wife turns on Japanese TV and like, oh, New York, abunayo ne, minasan shindare. I'm like, whoa, everybody's dead in New York. What's going on? Also, we watch the news. I'm like, this is an isolated incident. What train was it? The N? Nobody rides the N train. That the train's for losers.
Yeah. Actually, something? Nobody died in that. Everybody got shot in the leg. I think that, which is a little suspicious. 33 shots, 10 people supposedly hit, and nobody died. I mean, it's a miracle. It's a friggin'. And when the guy ran away, he left his card that he used to rent his U-Haul. He left that rental information. He left the fireworks. He left the gun. It's all in a bag. Here, it's like a catch the murderer kit.
Worst Batman villain ever.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my wallet? Oh God. Oh geez. Oh boy. Oh, it's okay.
The crime scene again.
He wasn't even wearing gloves.
What a lousy and you know what? I can't even tell you the guy's name now. And a guy who does something like that, you ought to remember his name for a few months, right? You would
Wait,
think.
maybe like Fight Club, like his name was Bob Sanders or something.
Yeah, say his name. Say his name.
Oh, geez. Oh,
those are the murders everybody hears about. It's the racial ones. Those are the ones that really stick here. Because they do repeat their names. Breonna Taylor, and these aren't even murders. A lot of times they're just like police involved shootings that get misconstrued, misreported, and misunderstood.
That's another thing. That's an interesting thing about Japan. In Japan, we do have mass murders every so often. I can just think of like 3 or 4 off the top of my head, right? Where like somebody like killed like maybe 5 to like 20 people, right? And the thing is, nobody remembers their name. Their name just becomes obsolete within seconds, And so it's crazy that anybody would want to do that for fame. We're just like, I'm going to become famous. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be somebody. No. You're fucking, once you do that, you're fucking in the pin and that's it. And then when you're released, shit, dude, people that go to Japan or people in Japan that commit murders, the sentences are lighter than other countries. But the thing is, when you are released, the thing you can't get a job. No job will hire you. You can't do anything. So pretty much it's just like once you're released, you go from one prison to another prison. You're a social outcast and you can't get a job.
Well, I mean,
you're homeless.
The post-prison life there is a lot like the pre-prison life that I'm living here now. So I'm a social outcast. I can't get a job. I mean, the last thing I would want to have is a job. But I see what you mean.
Yeah.
How long were they? How long do they get sentenced for? They say they kill 5, 10 people. What do you think would be the standard sentence?
Oh God. Well, 5 or 10 people, it depends on the motive. If the motive is sincere, they'll definitely get the death penalty. Death penalty, you can get killed within like 1 day or 50 years. They don't tell you when you actually get killed. If you make it to lunch, you survived another day. So that's
Wow.
probably what's going to happen to most people that commit like these kind of a heinous crimes. If they do spend time in prison, like for example, if there is a motive that's like, I don't know if it's, let's say, reasonable or whatnot, it's not as long as the states. In the states, like if you commit something really fucked up, you go to jail for a long, for life, for like a million years. Like, all right, you're sentenced to like 200 years plus like 300 years plus 600 years or something. It's ridiculous, right?
It
But in
happens
Japan,
occasionally.
it's more reasonable here, you know? Like, I mean, that there is like kind of like a concept where like you will be released after you serve your time, right? But I mean, prison in Japan is no joke. Like I've talked to convicts, right, that have convicts in Japan, and they said that prison in Japan, like the solitary confinement, where you have to sleep in a certain way, you have to be in solitary confinement in a certain way, where you're like on your knees for like 6 hours. It's pretty intense, you know.
Wow.
So when you do get out, it's better, but still, you still, it's really ridiculous. I don't
How
know.
many of those guys wind up spending 6 hours on their knees wherever they are after? They probably do. Just out of like, it's time to do that. If I don't do it, I'll get beaten or executed or something. I mean, like people get conditioned over a number of years. They have a guy here now, though. You say that we have these harsh sentences. There, the DA we have here in New York, his name's Alvin Bragg, and he's brand new. He came in January. He doesn't seek his thing is to not seek carceral punishment for anybody, hardly anybody, hardly any crimes. I mean, it's like you really have to just like blow a senator's head off or something in order to, or some domestic things or stuff like that. But a lot of the crimes aren't even bail eligible, meaning like you don't even have to pay bail. They don't even put you in jail anymore. There's fewer people in jail now than ever. They just and almost all these crimes that we'll read about, they are committed by people who should have been still in jail, but it's a small number of people committing a lot of these crimes over and over again. And they won't lock them up.
That's insane. I think prison's been around since people have been around, you know. I mean, the thing is just like there's been prison because there are bad people out there, you know,
Yeah.
and bad people have to be separated from society, you know, and every country, every society has got prison, right? And so for like America or New York to be like, hey, you know what, we don't need prison anymore, fuck that shit, you know. That's ridiculous, because I mean that's just going to make crazy people that are natural born killers or just criminals just say, hey, fuck it, if I can get away with it, I'm going to do it. And maybe that's human nature too, because the thing is, I jaywalk all the time. I love to jaywalk because the thing is, if I can get away with it, I'm going to do it, right? Even
Mm.
though I know you're not supposed to jaywalk in Tokyo, but I do it. So maybe that's it. It's human nature. So you got to have prison, because prison is like a deterrent for people from committing crimes.
Sure. Yeah, and it's the same way with jail. Like when you get arrested, if you don't get locked up, if you don't have to spend a day or two in jail or a week in jail, or you don't have to come up with bail money, then you're back out in a few hours. And hell, man, I mean, you haven't even slept. You're still on the same day, and it's a momentum thing. People like that don't tend to be like big planners all the time. So they're like, what do you call it? Impulse. They act on impulse, and it's just one impulse after another. They're going to go commit more crimes.
True.
It's shocking that they would want to do it that way. But this is what I'm talking about when I say they're wrecking it on purpose. Because there's no way that these grown men who are saying like, oh no, jail is bad, it has a disparate impact on communities and stuff like that. There's no way that they don't understand what happens when you don't lock people up.
Why are they doing that? Why are they eliminating jail and prison? Why are they keeping like criminals or people that commit like random crimes on the streets? That makes no sense.
It's to create equity. That's basically it. I mean, they say it's for racial equity. Of course, that's not the real reason. The real reason is because they're just trying to create a situation where they. I mean, you have to break a thing in order to rebuild it. And so, all I can figure, the war is on. A certain type of person in the United States of America, and it's stacked against a certain type of individual, and these are the ones who need to be broken in order for them to just continue to remold society in the way that they want it. I mean, these criminals might be a danger to people at large, but they're not a danger as far as like preserving the sense of the culture and stuff like that. They want to kill the whole American idea.
Wow, that's deep, dude.
Yep, true.
Dude,
It's
I'm
true.
like two of these fucking like what 7% drinks deep, and that is really deep, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
wow.
hallucinating right now. Yeah.
Oh man, holy smokes. All right, well, we've been talking about like crime in the news. Should we actually get into the news?
I can't wait. Why
Yeah.
don't we do that?
All right. Awesome. All right, Pat. So how should we do this? So I got 3 stories. Actually, I got 5 stories. How many stories you got?
You know what? I've got 3 or 4, and I didn't really select for dramaticism so much as just like something timely, but they're all pretty good. So I'll say 3 to 5. I'll try to keep pace.
Okay, well, I'm getting
So
kind of
you
drunk
open it
right now.
up then, since you maybe have a bonus, you should maybe.
All right. So, okay. I kind of cherry picked these. Some of these stories my co-hosts have actually covered. So, but anyway, it's going to be new to us, so it's all good. Okay, here we go. My first story. Aichi woman arrested for mixing human excrement into school lunch. Well, this story sounds kind of shitty. On June 13th, a 20-year-old employee of a public school in Ozaki, Aichi Prefecture was charged with mixing human feces into a school lunch. The incident occurred on October 8th, 2021, when the principal of the school taste tested the school's lunch in advance in the staff room and noticed that it had a strange odor and discoloration, probably of shit. He immediately canceled the meal for everyone else and submitted the food to the public health center for examination. The result confirmed that it contained E. coli bacteria. And even though the school lunch was made in a separate facility, no other school had any trace of fecal matter in their food. Thanks to the keen sense and the quick action of the principal, none of the students or staff members were exposed to the contaminated food and did not suffer any illness as a result. Thank God. A subsequent investigation led back to the staff member, though it was unclear that what her motive was or how she managed to mix the excrement into the food.
With a spoon, I would say, right, or a mixer.
I think with her butt.
Yeah,
she she
she
is
just
charged.
squatted over it and tried to move her
Fuck
hips.
these kids. She is charged with fraudulent obstruction of business. Wouldn't be the first crime that springs to mind when someone attempts to poison an entire school. She is currently denying the charge. Now, this story isn't surprising to most students from around the globe because school lunches normally taste like shit.
Yeah,
I added
I,
that.
no, I agree, and no, that it's. I remember when growing up, the school lunch, man. I think we never had shit in our school lunch, but I think we used to have a little school lunch blended in with our shit. I mean, like this is what they would serve, those weird food combinations and everything. And this lady what was her job again? Was she a cafeteria worker? Surely not.
She was a lunch lady.
A lunch lady. Well, my God, that's she's crazy, right? She just has to be crazy, or maybe she's resentful of these kids, that she has to come and feed every day.
I
Maybe
don't
she
know.
just wanted to see what would happen.
She had E. coli, man. That's fucking crazy. But okay, what should this lunch lady's evil villain name be? For example, like Poo Poo Pee Pee Bandit or Captain Heinous Anus, or if she was British, would it be like Lunch Lady Lou or something? What do you think that her evil villain name should be?
How about Scat Woman?
Scat Woman.
Yeah, Scat Woman. Yeah,
How
because scat meaning shit, right?
No. I got it. I wish she was a guy because Scat Man sounds so much cooler than Scat Woman. The Scat Man. No, or poo, Scat Man.
But maybe there is a cat woman though, and so it's not too far off. That's not too bad, right off the top.
No,
I
that
feel
was
pretty good
great.
about that. And I feel pretty good about that story too, because that is if you're leading off with that, the woman shitting into the school lunches, that only means that yeah, you've got some weird things coming up. I hope you have some of these famous Japanese stories where people are s- stealing off the clotheslines and shit, right? Like some of these where do guys still do that there? Do they still steal panties off the clotheslines?
Every day. Every day, dude. There's stories that we don't cover anymore because it's just like the same thing again and again and again. Like I try to find like interesting stories that are like make that they're amusing to me. I've been doing this podcast since 2009, right? I've seen and heard everything, every
Right.
kind of a murder, every kind of like a rape, every kind of like any kind of a crime in Japan. I've heard it, I've seen it, I've covered it, right? So if it's like really interesting, then I'm just like, wow, this is a great story, you know. But yeah, so I'm
You're
trying.
discerning. Yeah, I can see you. You should definitely never be like a cop, working on the CSI unit or something. And a woman tells you about her rape, and you're just like, oh, boring.
A rape. Oh God. Oh God. All right. So how big was his dick?
Was there anything? Was he wearing a weird mask of some sort?
Uh,
No. Mm,
oh, he was
okay.
circumcised 3 times, he said. Okay. All right. There we go. That's something interesting.
At least
All
there's
right.
something. Yeah. Did he have a funny name at least? All right. So I'll come off of that then, and well, I'll talk about a murder that we had back in let's see, this is just a short while back, earlier this year. A homeless man accused of killing Christina Yuna Lee inside her Chinatown apartment was ordered held without bail at his arraignment, and this guy here, this guy stabbed this woman Yuna Lee more than 40 times.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's a
That's a
stranger.
workout. That's like 1, 2, 3. Your arm gets tired. You got to take a break.
Yeah, I mean, like he probably conserves a lot of his energy, for just such occasions. That's Manhattan Criminal Court Judge Jay Weiner granted the district attorney's request to remand him. So his name's Asamad Nash. This guy's only 25, which is
Wow.
prime stabbing age. I mean, he's still got a young body. Charged with murder. This woman was 35. She was a creative producer, and left her butchered inside her bathtub. What he did is he just followed her inside. It was
Ooh.
something they call sexually motivated burglary, which sheds light on a potential motive there. And
Mhm.
while you arguing the government's case there, yeah, that it says here that the DA said that Nash attempted to deter police from entering the apartment by imitating a woman's voice.
Hello, it's not me. You're like Marge Simpson.
Yeah. Hi, we're fine. No, he said, we don't need the police here. Go away.
Land shark.
The sack on a guy to murder a woman, and then we don't need the. No, it's fine. I'm not decent.
We're just watching
Anyway,
Netflix. I can't do that voice. I don't know.
yeah.
I've had too
So
much to drink.
this is what he told. Yeah, he actually told him that. So, according to Iran, now as he barricaded himself inside the apartment, that's what he did for
Mhm.
roughly an hour and a half before they finally got inside the emergency service unit. He was dragging it out as long as he possibly could. This guy is just an uncommonly stupid looking guy. And it sort of fits with his whole MO here. Like I said, he followed her inside. He followed her for a little while, and
Mhm.
then just followed her right into the building. And this poor Korean woman, just had it. Let's see, she was found dead in her bathroom, naked from the waist up, with over 40 stab wounds. And
Oof.
he was and he was hiding. You see, uh, under the bed.
That's
You
the
know,
best place to hide, dude. And every scary movie, that's the go-to place.
yeah, they'll never look there. It's the last place they'll expect to find him.
We've all seen Taken, right?
A stab wound to his torso and cuts to his hands and shoulders. So those, I guess, would be some kind of defensive wounds or something. I really don't know. A yellow-handled knife found behind a dresser. Chilling surveillance footage shows him pushing in when they returned home. She had just walked up 6 flights of stairs, too, which is, why didn't you kill me at the bottom of the fucking stairs? You know what I mean? Like, it's such a 6 flights is no joke. I used to live on
Yeah.
the fifth floor, and it was pretty bad, but. Uh, so he gets inside. There's a couple of other amusing elements here because he claimed that the woman invited him over for a party. Yeah.
I got a party. It's just me and karaoke by myself.
I guess he figured she's dead, right? So what can she say? You know, like yeah, we were friends, and she invited me over for a party, and we were gonna have a few drinks and just kind of kick it. So why would anybody want to spend time with you, dude? I mean, that's
But
He also said, huh?
what time did this happen? Does it have like a time? Is it like 9 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning?
yeah. Let me give you a reference point. I know it's in the evening after she came home from a party. She was heard screaming around 4:22 a.m. and that's
AM.
yeah, 4:22 a.m. So she was coming home pretty late.
It's like a
Uh,
meth party. 7 o'clock. Let's start it.
She was heard screaming for help, and a male voice responded, "Calm down, I have a gun."
That
that
sucks.
that,
That
that
poor
that
girl.
definitely calms you down, right? Calm down, I have a gun. Um, yeah, so it was late. It was late when she came in, and one more final thing here. He says they're not going to be able to make this stick because they don't have video of him killing her, only walking into the building. So him hiding under the bed, and the blood, all that stuff. He's only, I guess, not really sufficient evidence. So it shows what they know about the law, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm pretty sure he did it. I'm pretty sure. Now, Pat, I'm not a detective. I'm not a cop. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy that does a podcast about crime for many, many years. I'm kind of an alcoholic, but he did it.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? But you know what? We have to exclude you from the jury now, Johnny.
Oh God, yeah. You know what? The thing is, they probably actually did catch him red-handed, literally too. He's like, I didn't do it. Dripping with blood.
Oh, damn! You don't know where that came from.
It's paint. I'm an artist. All right. Okay. So I guess it's my story now. Okay. Let's see where we're gonna go. I got a couple of stories here. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go strong. Okay. All right. You want a perverted stuff? I got it. School vice principal arrested after miniature camera found in woman's toilet. Police in Shin-Hidaka, Hokkaido, have arrested a 47-year-old man on suspicion of placing a miniature camera inside the women's staff toilet at a junior high school where he is vice principal. Oh man, okay. I kind of
Somebody
get
in
that.
Japan likes taking pictures. How odd.
That's true. I kind of get that image of that song in my head by the Police. Don't stand so close to me. According to police, Kiyoshi Onodara has admitted to placing a camera inside a small box in the toilet on the first floor of the school building on June 6, Hokkaido TV reported. An employee spotted the camera in the toilet cubicle on June 7th. The school notified the police, and after an investigation on staff, Onodara was arrested on Saturday. How did they know it was him? I don't know. You think that he had like a 35mm camera inside a shoebox or something? Because I mean, this is kind of weird. I mean, I've never been in a girl's bathroom. Well, kind of. I've never been in a girl's bathroom really, but the thing is, like, I don't think they have boxes inside the girl's bathroom, right? Especially in, like, the toilets.
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I mean, if it's a shoebox, they're definitely going to open it up and look inside. So you don't want that.
Aha!
Oh, no shoes. It's a camera. I don't know. It's a good question. People. That's a bad thing to record people when they're trying in their most private of moments. They're probably not doing anything fun in there. They're just doing something that you would assume, and maybe that's his kink.
Yeah, that's definitely his kink. But the thing is, like, I don't understand that kink, Pat. Like, the thing is just like when people use a toilet, it's never like, I mean, all right. I've had roommates since like since day one, right? And the
Yeah.
thing is, I've had like small apartments with like the bathroom is close to like the bedrooms and stuff. There's nothing cool happening in the bathroom. It's just like, why do you want to record that? Who's interested in that? In fact, the thing is, don't you want to get as far away from that fucking room as possible? Like, nobody wants to be near the bathroom. The bathroom sucks. It stinks. It smells. Who the fuck is interested in this kind of shit, dude? Literally, this kind of shit. It's
Yeah.
fucking terrible. Who wants to be there, Pat? Tell me.
Those are people who really, who wants to be there? Scat woman.
Oh, scat man. Oh, that's true. All right. It came around. Okay, there we go.
Always comes around. All right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead with this to lighten it up here.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
This
Good
is
news.
A New York City man who stabbed his girlfriend. Well, he's accused of it, anyways. A man brutally slashed his girlfriend inside a Lower Manhattan subway station during the morning rush on a Tuesday. Later nabbed wearing Kellogg's Apple Jacks underwear, according to cops and photos. Then they have the photos here. Do you mind? I can share the screen if you'd like to see this guy in his Apple Jacks underwear. Okay.
I would
So
love to see the screen.
you'd have to. Yeah, all you got to do is enable the screen share real quick, and in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and read a little bit more about it. There's a man brutally slashed, like I said. His name is Billy Hernandez. He's 50. In custody hours later with charges pending against him after getting picked up on South Street. Here we have some photos. It's got a red New York T-shirt and Kellogg's Apple Jacks underwear. This woman here got cut up pretty bad. We got photos of her.
Shit. Look on her
all
face.
splashed up. Yeah, on her. Well, mostly it looks like sometimes. Yeah, on her head. Actually, up on her head or something. Maybe across her face. The bandage. She looks like the Mummy, basically.
Like
So
Chucky?
just go to screen share. And then and there should be something there that says more or something like that, and like a little arrow off to the side.
Yeah. I got it. Share screen. Okay, boom. Okay, there we go.
Great.
Desktop.
So here we go. Now we can. Well, okay, now here we go. Oh, it says it's still disabled. Oh, you started screen sharing. 5,000 peaches stolen. We have look at your.
Now we're all messed up.
Now we're
I
getting
can
a
tell
free
the
look
porn
at
on
your
my
story.
screen. Oh, this is terrible.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me just send you the link, and then you'll have it, and you can. I'll just send it in the chat, and then you can share it from there. How about that?
Oh God, now I'm all messed up. Now I can't get
No big
the
deal.
stream back to normal.
Just hit stop share, and you'll be fine.
Stop share.
I'm sending you the link right here, and then you'll have it, and then we'll be able. That's not it right there, but it's coming momentarily. Man, I understand a guy stabbing his girlfriend. You know, what I mean, like I understand a guy stabbing his wife. Really, I understand stabbing your wife more than your girlfriend. You know, because it's just like you can get pretty hopeless. You know, and it's really stabbing is just it's about investment in that relationship. You know, you gotta want somebody dead in a certain way to just take a sharp object and plunge it into their flesh. So it's apparently they were pretty close. I mean, that's my conclusion anyway. Applejack's there and his girlfriend. So you have the link over there in the chat. If you click on that, then it should take you to the photos that you're looking for, the ones that we're all dying to see. I mean,
Okay.
you might be a little disappointed at this point because go ahead. What do you need?
Oh no. I'm gonna click that later. The thing is, though, I think that stabbing somebody that really takes a lot of effort. I mean, you got to choose the knife. You got to like pick up the knife. You got to go up to them. You got to actually put the knife in them. You know, I mean, a gun.
You got
is
to
just
pull
like,
it out. You got to put it back in. You got to pull it out. You got to put it back in. Yeah.
like the previous story, like 40 times or something, or 50 times. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I mean, that's a workout, dude. You got to use both hands. You know.
Yeah, it's like remember the Ginsu knives, remember the commercials? In Japan, the foot can split wood, but you can't stab your girlfriend with it.
Well, actually, you can. Case in point, right?
Yeah, but as you were saying, a gun is a lot less personal. It's just, you pull it, you push a button on somebody and then they're gone.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, stabbing. God, you got to think about that.
I think the most primal crime that there can be, like that really probably the first, I'm going to say it might have been the first crime ever committed, the first murder ever committed. Now may not have been this, but a woman cutting a baby out of a pregnant woman's stomach. That's the most primal murder I can think of. Just like I want that baby inside. I'm going to cut you open and take that baby.
Wow. Never thought about that.
Women are terrible people. A guy would never do that. A guy would never cut open he might want to have kids. I think I'd like to be a dad. He's never, ever going to cut a baby out of a woman's stomach.
Oh, I see what you're saying. To keep the baby. Oh, I thought you meant for an abortion. I was like, whoa, dude, that's pretty... You want an abortion? Let me just do this for you.
It's a fetus napping.
Oh, to steal a baby, like a pre-birth kidnapping or something, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But the problem with that is then there's nobody to demand ransom from. So, I mean, it's pretty much yours after that.
Yeah, after that, you're screwed. No, but in Japan we got a lot of problems with like people having babies, like young people having babies, and they don't know what to do. So they put the babies in like lockers, right? Like they go to a train station with the baby and they put it in a locker and they lock the baby in there, and then the baby, of course, eventually dies, and then then they go to jail. Yeah.
They put it in the locker just to get rid of it. You mean they're not trying to like I'll be back for it later? It's like this
No,
is the final place.
no, dude, I've got two stories about that today. Like two stories came out this week about that. If you want, I can like cover one if you want.
Oh, that sounds fascinating.
All
Yeah,
right, all right, let me pull that up, dude. I was thinking, man, that might be a little bit too dark for Pat Dixon. But I mean, if if you're into it, dude, yeah, let
Are
me pull
you
that.
joking, man? I'm insulted. You even had that thought. I mean, if it
Sorry.
happened, see, to me, it's never nothing's too dark. If it happened, I mean, that's all it is. Is did it happen? And if
It
it
did.
did, then it's not too dark.
Okay, all right. Well, that's gonna definitely eliminate one of my stories. Okay, this is gonna take me a second to find this.
Well, you have one that didn't happen.
No, no, okay. No, I had another one that's like not as dark as like it's like a family murder, but let's see here.
Family murders can be pretty heavy sometimes. My favorite type of family
No.
murder is when we have a patriarch, like a grandpa, and one day he just takes his shotgun shells, loads up his gun, and just fucking murders everybody in the family, the dog, and then himself.
He's like, this is a bad idea starting this fucking breed. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean up my own mess before I get out of here.
Oh, dude. Oh god. All right, let's see. We gotta all right. Let me just read some of these. Okay. Train conductor arrested over groping incidents. Let's see, doctor arrested over alleged sex act with minor. Uh Body of newborn girl found in parking lot, had been there since April. Oh, okay. This is a good one. Okay, so that's one that you wanted,
That's
right?
nuts. Yeah. Well, wait, you said left in a parking lot. She was the baby was in a locker, or was it just out in the
Oh, there's
elements?
another one in a locker. Do you want me to do the locker one or this one?
Man, you know what? You tell me because like they both sound pretty promising.
All right, this one's actually kind of short. I could probably read both of them. Here we go.
Why not?
Whew. All right. Baby of newborn girl found in parking lot had been there since April, police said. Osaka, Aishiteru. I love Osaka. Police in Osaka say a newborn baby girl whose body was found in a car parking lot on Tuesday had been dead since late April. Following the result of an autopsy, the baby was found in a plastic bag inside a paper bag at around 11:45 p.m. on Tuesday in Nihonbashi parking lot in Chuo Ward. Kyoto News reported the
So
parking
wasteful,
lot.
so wasteful. I'm just going to interject. That's
Yeah,
a bad paper and plastic. That's you don't need all that.
yeah. The thing is, I mean, if you're going to recycle, you should just stick with the paper.
Well,
Um,
the baby's actually compost, so you got to separate all that stuff.
Oh god, you're right. Yeah, that's gonna get complicated. The parking lot is in the Minami Entertainment District. Oh, it's an entertainment district near Nanki Namba Station, which basically means like kind of like a red light party district. Police
Oh.
said there were no external signs of injury on the infant, who was naked and still had her umbilical cord attached. Decomposition of the corpse had begun when it was found. Police said they are analyzing, it's getting wasted, analyzing street surveillance camera footage to try to determine who might have left the infant in the parking lot. I don't know, man. What do you think, Pat?
I think we have a desperate young mother who would rather go out and dance than be pregnant. It might be one of those have the baby in your pants kind of things. When she's just on her way out to party. I'm not sure if it was intentionally left there or if somebody basically just babied their pants.
I don't know, man. You never know. But the thing is, I think like in this area or in all red light or party areas of like Japan, it's
Mm.
all young people. Like everybody there is like fucking like from 16, 18, 20 to like maybe like 30 years old. So I think it's just like a dumb kid that just basically has like a stomach cramp and realizes they're pregnant or whatnot. And
Yeah.
yeah, they still want to party that night. So they just get rid of the evidence.
That's what I mean by having a baby in her pants. I mean, there was a show about these things, these unexpected, unsuspected pregnancies, and like a woman just like, I had a baby, you had a baby, I had a baby in my pants. I mean, that was one of the things back when I was back on what was the show called? That stupid VH1 Best Week Ever. They would
What,
have all these dumb
friends?
shows. Friends, how
It's
long
been
have
a
you been
while.
there?
20 years.
Yeah, let me ask you. Let me reference you for TV shows here in the States.
Don't
But
ask me about it. If it's not Friends or Survivor or Seinfeld, I don't know. Okay.
the umbilical cord was still attached, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that somebody gave birth right there on the spot, and it was just like, well, fuck it, we got reservations or whatever.
Oh God,
Why
probably
let this
true.
ruin a good time? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
Probably true.
yeah. And you know what? The kids are probably better off. I mean, like an adoption might have been best, but it sounds like that would not have been a very good mother.
But in Japan, adoption is not really a big thing here. People don't really adopt kids here. Like in the
Why not?
States, I don't know. That it's not like a thing. Like, I mean, you never really hear of somebody that's been adopted or people that are thinking about adopting kids. It's not really like a thing here. I don't think adoption is like part of Japanese culture. Maybe it
Interesting.
is for some people, but I don't I've never really heard of it. I've been here for 20
Wow.
years. I've never really heard of anybody being adopted or adopting somebody or something.
Is there a word for adoption even in Japanese?
Adoption, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of drunk. So
That sounds very similar to the English. Yeah.
let me
Uh,
ask you, let me hey Reza. She's got her fucking headphones on. She can't fucking hear anything. All right, never mind.
Throw something at her. Well,
You're
hell,
good.
I can just go to my Google handy
But I got a
dandy here.
knife right here. Let me just throw it at her.
Let me see. Google Translate. We'll find this
Adoption.
out right quick. Yeah, just adoption to the Japanese. Let's see. Detect language. Take it to the Japanese.
Let's see.
I swear to
Pato
God.
Dixon. It's called Pat Dick. Well, what? No, sorry, dude.
See, I can't read this anyway. So I mean, like, it does me no good. It's just a bunch of symbols. Uh, I wish I could show it to you, but I can't. I guess you could do a similar. You got Google Translate there, right?
Kaketsu. It's called kaketsu.
So there is adoption.
There is adoption.
There's a
I
word
think
for it at
there is
least.
a thing. It's kaketsu. But yeah, I mean,
Shameful, huh? They're not into doing it.
maybe. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but I don't think many people do it. To be
Yeah,
honest.
it's not considered a better option than death. I gotcha. Okay, it's funny because maybe they're just like not as morally broken down. There's not enough need for that, or people are better prepared. People are more responsible, maybe, and they just
It-
like people have a baby, they keep it. There's more of a family, tightness.
well, the thing is, it's just like I've never been exposed to that here in Japan, so maybe it's kind of like a subculture that people don't talk about, or maybe it's like a thing that is just like, yeah, I think it's probably like something that people just don't talk about. Like if somebody adopts a kid, they don't like make it exposed that their kid's adopted, or maybe like if somebody's adopted, they don't talk about them being adopted. Maybe it's like something, it's not shameful or anything like that, but maybe it's just something that people just don't talk about. It's more of like a family issue or a family thing that people just don't expose, because I've never heard about that ever in Japan, you know?
You want to hear about two strangers stabbing a 16-year-old inside a violent Brooklyn subway station?
Oh, I would love that. That'd be great.
The teen was waiting to board the southbound A train at the Broadway Junction around 10:20 p.m. Sunday when two men approached him, one of them asking, "What are you looking at?" And the question sparked a fight. Eventually, it turned violent. A fight that turned violent, is said. Well, if it's a fight, it turns violent immediately. The fight was maybe I don't know, but the
Doing
suspects,
slap happy stuff.
yeah, they're just like, well, put up your dukes, see? One of the suspects pulled out a knife and stabbed the boy, quote, multiple times in the face and neck, and the pair then fled on separate C and A trains. So I don't know, I guess they got lucky that those trains got there at the same time, and they were able to make their escape in two different directions. So the victim was taken to Brookdale Hospital, stable condition, and yeah, so That's that. It's the attackers look like one of them looks like one of the Beastie Boys, like in around 1989, and I'm gonna say the other one looks like he's wearing a fake beard. Almost looks like a woman in a fake beard. But yeah, that's something else, right? It leads to you don't ever get into arguments. If what are you looking at? The answer to that is, I'm looking at a bunch of stuff in the opposite direction of you, and keep going.
Yeah, dude. Like when I had my situation in New York and stuff, when when that guy threatened to like stab me in the face, yeah, basically we just walked away, you know. And the
Yeah,
thing is,
clear
like
the
when I
area.
walked away, I had eyes in the back of my head. I was like watching that motherfucker as I was walking away, you know. And
Yep.
that's what you got to do, you know, being the man and being like, yo, what's up, you know, dude, you're gonna get fucking stabbed in the fucking face. Fuck
You
that.
don't need to get into a whole big physical altercation. I mean, you've got a lot more to lose. Like you said, this guy's got half a loaf of cornbread hanging out of his mouth. You've
Yep.
probably been to the dentist in the last few years. Why risk that?
Yeah. Yeah. Going to the dentist in Japan's expensive as a motherfucker too.
Yeah,
Oh
really.
man.
I bet you that it's really expensive. Why do you suppose that is?
Well, I mean, actually, well, I don't know. I think going to the dentist anywhere is kind of expensive, but
I
yeah. Hmm?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just agreeing, kind of. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. On that note, I mean, I don't think I'd ever have cornbread in my mouth like that guy did. So
I
anyway.
mean, you had a clean shirt on. That's already more to lose than you really care to.
Oh, geez. All right. The booze is kicking in. All right, let me get into my story. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm drinking, you're not. This is crazy. Here we go. Train conductor arrested over groping incident. The story took place in Miyagi. Police in Shiroishi, Miyagi Prefecture, have arrested a 27-year-old train conductor on suspicion of groping a teenage girl aboard a late night train. Night train, ready to crash and burn, whatever learn. Okay, according to police, Hiromu Harara is accused of groping the girl's breast at around 12:10 a.m. Sunday aboard a train in the JR Tohoku line between Kitashiharakawa and Hagashihara Hoshii, which makes no sense for anybody that's listening to this outside of Japan. Stations, Kyoto News reported. The girl who has been sitting alone called 110 after the incident when the train arrived at its terminal station, Hiroshima Station, Ohara, was detained by police. So basically, this guy that's running the train and basically driving all these people around decided to leave his post and go back in the car and start groping girls. It's like 12:10, they're all drunk. Fuck it. And so he went back there and started groping like girls. But this girl was like a teenage girl and she had nothing to do with that. She's like, yo, dude, I'm going to call the cops.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, look, people don't have to tolerate that. That's not. It's like the wallet inspector. It's not real, you know. When they come back to see, like, I'm here to inspect your panties or whatever. I mean, you might be a train conductor and he looks official, but he doesn't have a right to put his hands all over you.
Her breast, just her
Her
breast.
breast. Well, yeah, which is basically a victimless crime. You know what I mean? The guy's driving the train. How about a little respect? You know.
Dude, I'd be worried. I'm like, wait, you're squeezing my boobies, and like we're going for, dude. You got to go up front, dude. You put your fucking foot on the brakes and shit, dude. We got the next stop coming up, you know.
Like, don't worry, it's an express. We're blowing through the next couple of stations. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this a long time. I'm union. There was one guy here who groped a woman in such a way that it was so tender and so sweet that it was almost like, this is probably better than most of the dates the woman's had lately. I mean, the guy gave her like just a little tiny kiss, and a hug, and
She
and,
said that.
well, I said it. I mean, she didn't own up to that, But women are proud; they're never going to come out and say something like that. I don't have a subway groping right now. But see, that's enough stuff in the subway for now. Here's a guy who kind of got screwed over. Lower East Side resident. He was beaten. Now, Lower East Side, you know where that is. It's if you go east and then walk down,
Yeah.
slashed and robbed of his designer watch. When he confronted a man who he found with his girlfriend. Guy comes home, finds a guy with his girlfriend who steals his watch. 33-year-old victim had just gotten home around 7:10 p.m. on the 6th. He found the stranger with his gal pal at his apartment at Delancey and Baruch Drive, and the two men got into a fight that ended with the intruder punching the victim in the face multiple times and slashing him in the neck, and he swiped his $7,000 Cartier watch and his keys before he left. And so the guy's in stable condition, but I don't see how, because you're going to feel pretty unstable, my friend, when you lose your girlfriend and your $7,000 watch and your keys all in one moment. What a bitch that woman is, huh?
God, dude, losing your keys kind of sucks.
It's like, if you want to fucking bang a different dude, cheat on a guy, that's fine. Don't cheat on a guy who's going to steal my watch. Don't cheat with a guy that's going to, rob me.
Yeah.
That's really insult to injury, in a way that I hope they catch this guy. I usually don't root either way, for someone to be arrested. But I have to say, for this guy's sake, I hope he gets justice.
Yeah, I don't know, man. God, that sucks, dude. Being robbed by somebody that you're like involved with really, really, really sucks. Because the thing is, like, it's not even like if you get robbed by somebody that you don't know, you're like, fuck, dude, I really like that phone. God, I really like that watch. God, I really like those shoes. But if you know the person, you're like, man, fuck that person. It's like more of a, you really get more involved in the crime. You really hate that person even more,
Oh, yeah. You're like, man, I can't believe it. She would do that. Holy shit. After all the time she accused me, I'm stealing this, I'm stealing that. She's always thought I was, taking stuff from her purse and shit like that. And she has the fucking you've got 100 things to relate it to make it 100 times worse. I mean, plus this guy, she's cheating on him with this robber. You think that this was an intentional thing? Like she just was like, hey, we'll rob him when he gets here? Or you think that, I don't know, I'm not so sure. It seems like there was a fight, and then the guy was like, all right, just took his stuff after he beat his ass.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just cheating with a sort of a loose cannon. But you're probably right.
Yeah, but the thing's like, they're gonna go to the cops, and they're gonna fucking like pinpoint you, be like, yeah, he's the guy that did it, right? It's not like you're gonna rob somebody and get away with it, dude. I mean,
true. Yeah, and there's a DNA sample like all over the chick's lips.
Semen. It's like, no,
not those lips.
Oh well,
Sorry, that's a really low hanging fruit type of joke. I apologize. We can do better.
Yeah. All right, so it's my story. Okay, here we go. Next story. All right, so I was looking for a story about another infant body. Okay, so I got another one. 23-year-old woman arrested for abandoning infant's body inside suitcase hidden in closet. Okay, here's another one. Tokyo police in Hino City, Tokyo have arrested a 23-year-old woman on suspicion of corpse abandonment after the body of a newborn boy was found inside a suitcase hidden in a closet. According to police, Chihiro Fukushima, a part-time worker, has admitted to the charge. Kyoto News reported that Fukushima lived with her parents. Oh, shit. Grandparents. At around 11 on Sunday, Fukushima's mother noticed an unusual odor coming from her daughter's room. When she went to see what it was, she discovered the baby's corpse inside the suitcase in the closet and called 110, aka 911. Police quoted Fukushima saying that she placed the baby inside the suitcase after giving birth at the end of May. Okay, well, that's kind of sad and depressing, but yeah, it's got to be absolutely horrific for like the mother. I mean, the grandmother, right?
Yeah.
She comes in, she's vacuuming, she's like taking care of like the laundry and shit. She's like, smell a dead mouse. And she opens up the closet and she's like, oh shit. Oh my God. Could you imagine that, dude? That's got to be so fucked up. That poor lady.
I know. She's like, man, is she going somewhere? Because she packed her dead baby and yet she just left the suitcase.
I thought she'd be gone by now.
Yeah. Now this whole place smells like dead baby.
God.
One of the few women who will actually know the difference in dead mouse and dead baby. The subtlety. Uh, I don't know what month did they find this because they said it's been in there since May. She had it and put it in. Now, did the grandmother not notice,
Mm.
right? That, hey, I don't see you feeding the kid or anything. I don't get to bounce it on my knee all the time. Must not have even known she had the kid, right?
I don't think she knows that she had the kid. I think basically the daughter had the baby and didn't know what to do with it, and then put it in the closet in a fucking suitcase, and just like, I'll take care of it later. And
Yeah.
after about a couple of days or a week or something like that, she's like, fuck it, I'll just move forward. And she just didn't dispose of the baby, I guess.
She's
Um,
a what do you call it? A procrastinator, and that's an unfortunate quality to have. But I mean, if it's putting it, I guess what's interesting about this. She's charged with abandoning a corpse, so
yeah.
that would suggest that the baby wasn't alive when she put it into the suitcase. And I bet you they just can't prove whether or not the baby was dead or alive, so they charge her with the more certain type of conviction, which would be the corpse thing. And she's young and she didn't know what the hell to do. So I think
Mhm.
that's a fair charge, actually. I mean, I hate to think that she put a live baby into the suitcase and it just suffocated. However, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt.
You never know, man. I mean, there's like a whole slew of like I guess crimes you could throw against this lady. I mean, abandoning the corpse is probably the lightest one. I mean, it could be like murder, it could
Right.
be even kidnapping, maybe. I mean, there's like so many crimes that could go against this lady, you know?
Kid packing. Yeah. It could. I'm trying to think of what else it could. I mean, I think abandoning a corpse is probably the least. Yeah,
Lightest, yeah.
that they could. And like I said, I mean, like a young girl, why not give her the benefit of the doubt? And I'm willing to do that if grandma is the strap hanger battered in a brutal hammer attack. I love hammer attacks. I don't know if you ever get those there, but we get a
Yeah, we
hammer
get
attack
those.
at a Manhattan subway station. He says New Yorkers have had it with the out of control transit violence. So this guy's Bernie Getz, but he didn't pull the trigger on anybody. He just got the shit beat out of him. We're trying to live our lives as well as we can, and it's just unfortunate that we have to face all these adversities along with just all the struggles in life. We have to face all these adversities along with the struggles in life. If you look up the definition of adversities, it is the struggles in life. The 29-year-old victim told the Post that. So he said it's just unnecessary conflict and it sucks. Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate. This is like they're speaking to this guy in depth, apparently. The city, the way it is, obviously something has to happen, something has to change. And this is shortly before they nabbed the alleged attacker. A little bit further west on 14th Street subway line. That was 48-year-old Christian Jeffers, who identifies as a woman. So we have a trans hammer attacker spotted by the transit cop shortly after 2 p.m., charged with second-degree assault. Second-degree assault. I mean, like, I don't know. Swinging a hammer at somebody they really go with these charging decisions. They're usually pretty weak because that could be attempted murder. You can easily kill somebody with
Oh yeah,
that.
that's definitely attempted murder. 2 p.m., dude. Isn't that early?
Yeah, 2 p.m. is mid-afternoon, and it's a bit early to be out hammer murdering. But I'm going to say that this trans individual might have just been on the way home from the night before, maybe. So it was actually super late. It's interesting here too
Uh,
because they really wanted people to the police to not prosecute turnstile jumping here anymore. Just like you
yeah.
said about jaywalking, but you let that shit go. Eventually, it becomes a bad thing. First of all, nobody pays for the train anymore. They lose money. Second of all, you stop catching people like they caught this person. They saw Jeffers jumping the turnstile at the station, took her into custody with a hammer recovered from her bag. And so that's how you make arrests is like, oh, because criminals don't pay for the subway. They
Yeah.
just don't. Not everybody who jumps the turnstile is a criminal, but every criminal will jump the turnstile.
Yeah.
Victim, yeah. So that's why shit like that is important. And I don't want to see this Jeffers person is very trans looking, even without the wig. You want to hear how it happened? Why not? He ended
Yeah,
up
sure, why
bumping
not?
into me
Yeah,
because after that he turned around trying to get into my face pretty aggressively, and in that kind of process he ended up stepping up on me. The victim said he stepped on my foot, and then after that he took the hammer and then I was hit on the head. I didn't see the hammer. I just saw him reaching into a bag, pulled something out.
Oh,
It happened like too quick for me to react.
oh my
Cell
god, being
phone.
hit on the head like a fucking like what Donkey Kong Mario fucking hammer and shit, dude. That
Yeah.
will fuck you up, dude.
Yeah.
Bam, dude, knocked down. Wow. Oh, dude, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You get hit.
We need somebody rolling barrels at these motherfuckers.
Oh god, barrels, dude. Barrels means fucking bullets, dude. Because the thing is, it's like you get hit in the head once, dude. Out, dude. There's fucking nothing you can do, dude. You get hit in the head with a fucking hammer, dude. You are not fucking walking around straight for at least a week, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is crazy, dude.
You're gonna see birds over your head, and that's if you don't get hit with the claw end, man. I
Birds.
mean, that could go right into your skull. It's serious, right? It's just like you said. Why you hit me? The attacker yells. Why the fuck you hit me? After he hit him, it wasn't painful. What? It wasn't painful. I felt a lot of blood running down the side of my head. I was just kind of shocked and dazed a little bit. So he said it wasn't even painful. This guy got hit in the head with a hammer.
You got hit so hard that it fucking like shocked his whole system, so he didn't feel the pain.
And this story was not publicized very strongly, and I'm sorry, but it's because the person's trans. And when a person is trans, the media cuts them a break and just doesn't. They don't get all caught up in the fun of the story so much. You know what I mean?
So if I want to commit a crime, I got to be trans.
It helps. It helps. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if you don't want it to be, there was a serial killer here who was basically a serial killer who was really old, weird trans person, and it's the kind of thing that you would think, wow, that's one of the craziest stories of the year, and it would be hard to locate it at this point. It's just it's swept under a little bit.
Really?
They cut him a break. They cut him a little bit of a break in the news, and I think they cut him a little bit of a break with the law too sometimes. But here's another thing you might notice is that like sometimes a trans person is accused in a crime, and once they are accused or once they are convicted, one or the other, suddenly it's just a guy in a dress.
Really?
So yeah, it changes their whole status.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. I've got one last story. One last story. All right. You got time for one last story?
I got time for one last story.
All right.
Pull it together, man.
Okay, there you go. Dude, I'm fucking like, all right. We've been doing this podcast for like what, 3 hours now? All right.
It caught up with you, man. Yeah, when the booze caught up with you, and
it did. But it's good. It's good. It's good. I'm okay.
Time to rest. Yep.
Time to rest. Okay, here we go. Bogus delivery man sexually assaults woman, steals her underwear. Dun dun dun. Okay, Aichi police in Yatami, Aichi Prefecture have arrested a 32-year-old man on suspicion of sexually assaulting a 24-year-old woman and stealing her underwear. According to police, Yuta Asakura, a fireman, wore the uniform of a delivery man when he buzzed the apartment of the woman at around 2:10 p.m. on May 5th, Tokai TV reported. When the woman opened the door, he forced his way in and threatened her with a cutter knife, saying that he would kill her if she screamed, police said. Police said the woman told them that after she sexually was assaulted, Asaki stole her panties and then left. He was identified after an analysis of surveillance camera footage outside the apartment building. Dude, I'm way too drunk to fucking read these stories, but I gotta say, dude, that is fucking insane. It's a fireman dressed as a fucking delivery man who is actually, in fact, a rapist. What the fuck is going on, dude? And then fucking he stole her panties after he fucking raped her, dude. I mean, I feel really bad for her. That's really bad. I'm really sorry that happened and shit. But I mean, this guy is fucking a class A fucking scumbag, dude.
Wait 1 second. Maybe though he is just a panty thief disguised also as a rapist.
Surprise!
Yeah, I'm not a rapist at all. Give me the panties.
I gotta do this for my identity theft, you know. Oh god,
this guy's like a Russian doll of identities.
Oh
What a
my God.
sneaky, dishonest motherfucker he is.
Oh, gee, but he's actually a fucking fireman, dude. That's fucking insane. But the thing is, though, if he's a fireman, he would definitely know about the fucking CCTV because in Tokyo, there's CCTV everywhere. Everywhere
Right.
you go, every street corner, every fucking convenience store, every fucking everything, there's a CCTV, like fucking one of those little boxes, right? You can't
Yeah.
go anywhere without like a fucking CCTV like covering your shit, right? So
Mm.
this guy should have known that shit, but no, he's too
Well, he
fucking
had it.
dumb.
He's like, I'm disguised as a delivery man, so they'll never know. I just came in to make a little delivery.
Oh, you think he had like the fucking UPS hat and little short shorts?
I guess it could be different there. Maybe your delivery men are not
He had a
decked out in the
box.
brown.
He had a box in front of his cock, and he opened up the box. He's like, "Surprise!"
Look, it's my tiny penis. You're holding the box relative to the box. It's like going to be,
She's like, "Oh
dude.
no, I'm gonna be raped with the little penis."
And look at the disappointment of the woman too. She thinks she's getting a nice package, and then turns out not only that she's getting raped and stolen from.
Yeah, my deck of cards came in. Oh no.
Shit. Yeah, she had a few things on order, and then she was, something, man. That stealing the panties probably part of getting rid of the evidence, right? I mean, because you might drop a pube in there. Of course, it's also a trophy, and
No, it's a trophy, dude. In Japan, dude, fucking people love to fucking steal panties here. So it's like kind of like a thing. So
it's
yeah.
also a laundry day, last resort.
Yeah. Oh
I mean,
god.
would you wear a ladies' panties? Like if it gets down to it, if you're like, I'm out of underwear, I guess I'll wear these panties that I stole from that woman I raped when I was disguised as a delivery man.
No, 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 no. I free ball that shit, dude. Oh, dude, no, of course not. No,
Right.
but the thing is just like, the thing is like, I don't understand the stealing of panties, but that shit happens here like all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Different cultures fetishize different, things, I guess, and it happens to be panties there in Japan, and things linger. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what starts that? Who knows how long it's been going on, or what it is about it? Or it could be something just in the national culture, the national sort of,
Hmm.
like that they like. They just really like the smell of pussy, but not pussy itself, just when it's off the fabric.
Yo, Pat, but we got a fucking superhero here in Japan. Like if you like have the comics, there's comics that have like a superhero where he wears panties on his face. He's like the panty man that runs around and like solves crimes and shit, whatever. But he's got like a panty, like a girl's like a set of panties on his head.
He's not. He's not. This is a comical superhero type guy, right? Like retard guy that we had here, or something like that. I mean, it can't. It can't be like he's not up there with Superman. There's not panty head man.
He's not Superman, he's more like Green Lantern. He's like a bee superhero.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. He's not up on the top tier for sure.
No, no,
But
he's like a bee guy.
but people, does he look through the leg holes and so the crotch is on his nose?
That's right. That's right. Like the pussy crotch is on his face, and he's got the fucking like the leg things through his eyes. You could Google that shit. Fucking
And
faders, look that shit
it's
up.
a very popular Halloween costume in Japan, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it. I've actually seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to make it home.
Just go to
Man,
the
hey,
grammar
listen,
store.
Johnny, we got to do this again very, very soon because,
Oh
like,
yeah.
in fact, we should this should just be the show. I like doing this better than I like just doing Crime Report. We've both been doing podcasts in big cities for over 10 years,
Yeah.
and you know what? It's great, but this is so much more interesting. We got to at least do it once a month or something.
I would love to do this once a month, man. Like, I mean, I'll try not to get this drunk.
Dude, you're fine. Yeah, you're
Hey,
fine. Don't worry about
listen,
it.
all right, Pat. I mean, to my benefit, this is like Friday night. Tomorrow, I can like sleep in. This week has been fucking crazy as shit. So I've been indulging in the booze just a little bit. But I mean, yeah,
Stop
dude. If
it.
like if
You're
you want to do
good.
this like once a month, dude, I'd be more than down to do this.
Okay, well that'll be the deal then. Hey, and I hope to talk to you again soon. Well, in a month, right? And shit, my pleasure being on your show. Got faded. How did you come up with the name? Got faded.
Got Fitted Japan. Got Fitted Japan basically means getting fucked up with your friends and having conversations and just enjoying your time with your friends. Got
Okay.
Fitted. So it's basically like, like when you meet your friends, you have a couple of beers, and you just talk about bullshit. That's Got Fitted Japan.
All right. Cool. Well, that
But
makes sense.
we kind of took it to the next level and stuff like, all right, about the news, we got the news incorporated because like at the time, like in 2000, like at the time 2002, there's like a magazine called Metropolis that had like a lot of like news articles in it, right? So everybody in Japan that was like an expat would read these news articles that was like absolutely insane, right? So I came up with the idea of taking like Got Faded and fucking the crazy news and putting it together and just having like a podcast about just like talking about Japanese news and getting drunk.
Yeah. So that's obvious. Oh, so before it was just a directionless thing. You had no per topic per se. How long did it go on like that?
No.
Like,
There's no untopic. Like basically, when I came up with this idea, I wanted to do a podcast, and when this idea came in, I was like, this is the direction I should pursue. So that
okay.
was it.
Okay. I hear you. All right, then. Well, check out my locals if you haven't, because we got a lot of fun shows on there.
Yeah.
nyccrimereport.locals.com. Hope you get an opportunity. And, man, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking late. It's already like 1 o'clock in the morning, dude. I'm just gonna drink the rest of the 6 pack and just fucking call it a night.
I
But
knew it.
all right, on my end, faders, thank you so much for tuning in to this very special episode of Got Fitted Japan. Make sure you give us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you don't do that, don't worry about it because we are also on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, and be sure to tell a friend about Got Fitted Japan. Dude, I am fucked up as a motherfucker right now, and I fucking love it. Thank you so much, Pat, for fucking having the time to spend with me on this show. God damn it, I'm fucking
My
so
pleasure.
wasted.
Have a good
Dude, it's one of those nights, man. It's fucking like already 1 o'clock in the morning, and I've already had a bunch of booze. But anyway, thank you so much, dude. It's fucking great to see you. Fucking, I love you, man. And we'll do this again next month. Is that cool?
Perfect. And don't forget to send me the other the rest of that episode, okay?
Yeah, we'll do. All right, man.
First, I
Later.
know I'll count on it later, man. Thank you.
Boom. Okay, that's it.
All
Damn,
right.
dude, I got fucking wasted at the fucking like last like 30 minutes. The booze kept up, catched up with me, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I'm fucking way
But
too
you're a
wasted.
funny drunk, man, because you are so like in you as far as reading. That's when I first started noticing it. The Japanese names and stuff started getting a little bit less easy for you, and it's just a little thing. I thought that must have been a particularly hard one, and then yeah, it's like now you can barely get through a sentence, but it doesn't have any other effect. It's not like you turn into a dickhead or something. You're a pleasant, fun kind of drunk, and that's what you want.
No, I'm not gonna. What do you think? We're like, you know what? Fuck the druids. The druids ruined everything, man.
Yeah,
If you gave
I
me
was always
that kind of a person,
giving the druids a hard time. Yeah, when I was get wasted all the time.
druids are dicks. There's
I-
no way.
awesome. I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Thank you so much. Have a good night.